Is it live, or are we like?
We are live now, and
Okay,
so welcome to this week's episode of Alignment Shift. Everyone ready for another thrilling, spooky adventure?
So when you say lobby, do you just mean like the area you eat in?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Going to stab Vale with a flaming sword.
I've never called it a lobby.
On that note, roll the intro.
Ah, it hurts.
Well, I told you not to put your hand on that.
Baby.
Okay, and on that note, we are back. This is what it's always like. It's wonderful. It's the best.
You signed
Was
up
the-
for
I did. I was kind of volunteered for this. I don't. Well, no, I did sign up for this. I absolutely did, and I would never take it back. And yeah, recruited. That's best. I was recruited for this. There was an audition process, a casting couch. It was kind of
Facebook stalking.
Yes,
very
lots of
much so.
stalking. So on that note, picking up where we left off, caught up.
What's
Peggy's computer has crashed, so I'm joined by Peggy eventually. We have George.
Huh?
We have Steven. Hello. Mackenzie.
Hi.
Kayla.
Hopefully.
Maybe. Kayla's got a iffy connection.
She's here. We promise.
Hello?
There she
She's
is.
here! AJ!
Question mark?
And I'm your DM, Cal. Did I miss anyone? I'm always terrified I'm going to miss someone.
No. Just misspelled no
Hey!
because
I
she's not
did
here.
it. So,
Just read down the Discord list.
look, I'm not that smart, okay?
Well, but it's not our names, though.
It's not your names, yeah.
They
Hold on
don't
here.
need
Let
names.
me read down that real quick here. We got Ajax. We got Demar Falco.
Use his full name.
Ajax the corrupted parenthesis dark something. It cuts off. I'm
Dark
sorry.
Elf Warlock.
Sure. That's not what he is, but sure. Anyway,
no.
picking up where we left off, the party has traveled from the city of Vasselheim after having procured the spine of the Wand of Orcus, seeking the skull that will complete it, a champion of the Raven Queen. The party has tracked down the location of Pervan's tomb, made their way to the Marrowglade Lock, wherein they discovered a group of giants, frost giants to be specific, that were excavating the lake, having dammed it, and were sifting through the muck and excavating parts of the temple. or the tomb, that lays at the bottom of the lake. Failing some stealth, the giants ended up conversing with the party, exchanging entry into the tomb and whatever treasure therein for them to retrieve the skull of a beholder, as the giant would go in himself to retrieve this item. However, being a giant could not fit into the temple, and the excavation process was taking longer than he wanted. The party descended into the bowels of this tomb, down a long staircase, to discover that the tomb was not quite as intact as previously assumed, and found a massive cavernous ravine stretching across the entirety of its bottom. Across the ravine, about 500 feet down and across, they could see the tomb of Pervan himself teetering precariously close to the edge, and a statue of the Raven Queen. Upon crossing the ravine and saving the sarcophagus from falling into the pit with a well-placed wall of stone from Glaive, the party began to open it and look inside when Elena noticed a teardrop-shaped depression in the face of the Raven Queen statue. Immediately recognizing it to be the same teardrop that she was granted in a vision or dream, she's not quite sure which, whether it was real or not, that fell from the eye of her raven and crystallized into a solid diamond. She placed it into the edifice of the Raven Queen, revealing a small McDonald's bathroom-sized room inside the statue of the Raven Queen.
It all comes full circle.
All comes full circle, always. Inside, the huddled, cold, and damp bundle of rags revealed itself to be none other than the physical embodiment of the Raven Queen, having lost her domain, having lost her followers, having lost almost everything. She had fled to the one sanctum she had left. Vax appeared and stood before her protectively, and the party asked their questions, and she revealed the threads of destiny that tied them to others beyond, threads that connected them to others who had been waiting for them on the other side, who are now in peril because the chained oblivion has taken her realms of waiting, destroyed them and corrupted them, their spirits either lost or stolen. She gave them instructions that they must seek out power, be it from other deities, other allies they have made. She has no strength and cannot offer much, but she knew through the threads that some threads have already begun, some paths turning into a tapestry of interconnected stories. And with that, warning the party that his minions are approaching. Closing the door, sealing herself within the shrine of the Raven Queen, a massive death tyrant loomed from the darkness below, and hundreds of zombie dwarves crawling over each other up the ravine walls toward the party. Seeking the skull of a beholder, the party battled with this beholder and slew about 70 or 80 of these dwarven zombies and destroyed the death tyrant. Someone who cast Bigby's hand, I want to say it was Glaive? No,
No.
No, that was me.
Xavier. It was Xavier. Xavier cast Bigby's hand and caught the skull of the beholder and caught it upon the precipice. And that is where the party currently stands. Xavier, I do believe you have the best perception, correct?
Yes.
Do you have dark vision?
Racially, no, but I do have goggles that I've had on.
Are you wearing them?
Yes. I thought it was dark in here.
Okay, then make a perception check for me.
Perception skill, not the greatest. Passive perception, I have great. No, 9.
Okay, then what was your passive?
20.
Oh, okay. As you stand on the edge of the precipice, teetering the skull on the edge, your vision glances down deep into the bottom of the ravine. You cannot see its bottom, but something deep moves, like the sliding of a massive worm beneath the ground. You see just purple scales glinting in what little light there is picked up by your goggles down there. The entire ground shakes as something. Do you remember the worms that we saw outside the city of where was that? Do you remember the worms that you encountered?
Yes.
About 4 times larger than one of those.
Yeah, we need to go.
I believe we need to... Don't know where that voice came from. I see something quite big down there. I don't think we want to stay here any longer. And I'm so with Bigby's hand moving the skull basically up the temple, up to the entrance.
Okay. I believe Vale and Eldorage, neither of you had fly or anything, correct?
No,
Correct.
we were still on the other side.
We were about to fly out, but the spell dropped.
So
Well,
how are we getting those ones out?
I thought Sapala was flying over and grabbing them. That's why she didn't drop her eagle form yet.
She could probably carry one of. You could probably carry one of them.
Pretty sure we're both like
Huh.
super malnourished.
She can carry up
Just
like
saying.
200. I think she's like 250 pounds.
Okay, and I know
thought
both
it
of
was
you.
240.
240.
But she's also got glaive on her back, so that's probably about 40.
I thought Glaive was on the
I
opposite
dropped
side.
him. Yeah, I dropped him off.
Right. You did drop him off. Okay.
And Elena
So-
on the other
The
side.
halfling tips us over.
Just let it happen, DM. Just let it happen.
And Elena's on what?
Elena
He's
and
on the
Glaive
inside
are on the side with the entrance. So
Okay. And everyone forgets someone still has a sky sail.
I didn't forget.
Just choosing not to use.
All right. As everyone goes across the ravine,
That's how I got down here.
Xavier still glancing down below. You see massive tentacles crawling up the walls towards you, still hundreds of feet away. As you all run, sprinting up the stairs, as these tentacles reach the top of the edge, glancing back down, these large purple tentacles pulling down the rocks around you. Just hear, not in the world around you, not echoing off the walls, nowhere tangible, but inside your brain, you just hear.
Fantastic.
I like how it made the effort to say something into your brain, and it's just like, yes, thank you.
we needed that.
Proper terror. Now I understand our dire situation.
Alright. But nonetheless, you all sprint up. I would like a general survival check from whoever's leading the party.
I honestly feel like that would be me because I was rushing up with that skull.
Okay.
Yeah.
Elena died. Don't fail me now.
Can somebody help him?
14?
I'll yell at encouraging things at him.
You can
Don't fall again!
Move faster, asshole.
You all try to make it up the stairs quickly, but Xavier is not able to go very fast, balancing the Bigby's hand spell and lumbering this rather large skull up the staircase. Kind of slows everyone's progress down. Someone say something.
Ah!
All right, I heard Vale.
Uh-oh.
One of the rocks falls off the wall as you're going up the stairs. And you take a boulder to the shoulder, taking 2 points of bludgeoning damage.
Is this a projectile?
It is a projectile.
Sweet, I'm gonna catch it.
You're gonna catch a boulder.
Well, I'm gonna reduce the damage. Let's put it that way.
All right,
That's
roll to
better.
reduce the damage.
All right. Well, the minimum is far greater than 2. So.
Okay. Anyone behind Vale watches as a boulder falls and she just whoop pushes it to the side. Anyway, you make it to the top. It's all just trying to increase the tension in the situation. Sprinting to the top, just making it out as the cavern around you begins to fall and crumble dust, pilfering out into the wet surroundings as you emerge between the giant's legs, who is still sitting on top of the entryway. As you scramble forward, the skull plummeting into the mud, everyone tripping over each other. He stands just as the entire entryway begins to sink into the mud.
Nailed it.
Bigby's hand will pick the skull back up and go and like hold it up to him. Here's your skull.
Got it.
Reaches down with one hand. Nice. Smaller than I expected.
You are giant.
Looks down at you. So, where do we go from here?
Well, we got what we needed, and
That's good.
We got you what you
Well,
wanted, so
how
we
about
were
that?
gonna head on our way.
Well,
Was treacherous.
are you sure I can't invite you back to our village?
We do have a few things that we need to get done, but it was nice meeting you. What was your name again?
Sigmund the Adorned.
Sigmund the Adorned. We will definitely keep you in mind, though. Where's your village at, though?
Ah, I thought you'd ask. On the complete opposite end of Islira.
Wow.
Well, our fire.
It's a shorter distance for our legs.
Yeah.
But on the bottom side of the southeast quadrant, you'll find a great mountain. Along there, where you'll find us, where the thunder claps the snow-capped mountain.
Nice.
Gotta write this down before I forget.
I can't.
Southeast, thunder.
The thunder.
You'll know the one. Can't miss it.
He gets out of the
Yeah,
massive tent. All right, boys, pack it up. We're going home.
You gonna refill the lake or no?
He turns around and takes a look at you. You best be out of here when that goes.
Okay, yeah. Great. Just wanted to make sure that
It's
we
also
didn't
snowing.
have any global damage.
Local damage. Alright, well, we better get going. This way.
All around you as you begin to make your way out of the camp, I assume heading back toward the direction of Vasselheim?
Yes, at least
Mhm,
outside of the lake, so if it does fill up.
Yep. You trek your way you trek your way back to the edge of the lake where you first made your initial little meeting spot before infiltrating the camp. As you do, the giants have begun rolling up the furs and tents that they had. They don't seem to be moving the trees that were felled, and begin trekking in a southward direction along the lake bed.
As soon as we're in a good spot, I sit down, spend 11 minutes, and bring up a tiny hut.
Seconds.
All right, about 10 minutes into your 11-minute casting, you hear on the other end of the lake a loud, thunderous cracking, like a massive tree being felled in the woods. And the ground begins to rumble, and you look out into the distance as a massive tidal wave crosses over the lake, coming towards you.
Oh great! Is your title? Is it done?
Almost.
Is it what?
Towards
No,
us.
is the dome almost done? And
The dome is almost done. And
You better hurry.
Alright, so we're all
Xavier-
just
are
like,
you nagging at me?
I was gonna say, we're all just like, come on, faster.
Xavier, a wisdom check.
Oh,
I put my hood up.
just straight wisdom.
Straight wisdom.
The tidal
I
wave.
get ready to bamf.
20, not natural.
Okay. As it's getting closer and closer, everyone getting ready to bamf and put their hood up. The water, it's not overly high. You can see that it's just rushing very quickly toward the shore. Just as it's about 20 feet away, the wall comes down and this ice cold water splashes over the top of the dome and then recedes back into the lake bed. It's very rocky waves crashing hard against the shore. You see massive trees, the remains of the giant's encampment that had been left behind, washed up on the beaches all around you.
We're not submerged in it, are we?
Nope, it overtook and then receded back into the lake bed.
I put my hood back down.
Oh,
Much luck your hood would do you.
Xavier just
No.
falls backwards and begins to take a short rest.
That's a great idea.
That is a wonderful.
I like this plan. This is good plan.
So we're gonna do a short rest.
Day has
Oh.
been an interesting day.
Anyone doing anything else during the short rest?
I'm spending some hit dice. That's about it.
Contemplating.
What you doing?
Thinking I should have asked about my dang soul.
No.
Ooh, that was good.
Ooh, it's a stingray.
Elena,
Yes. Yes,
I've been
Clay.
putting a few. I've been putting a few together over here.
Putting
If
a few what together?
pieces,
Okay.
puzzle pieces.
All right.
Come on, you didn't have that bad of a childhood. You know what a puzzle is, right?
Yes, I know what a puzzle is, but I'm not quite sure what you're alluding to. What puzzle
Oh my
pieces are you
God.
putting together?
The Wand of Orcus is not a complete tool on its own.
Yes.
It requires a subversion of the Raven.
They cut out.
Yes. It requires a subversion of the Raven Queen's champion. Yes.
What if we do that without the?
What are you alluding to, Glaive?
What with? Is it
The
what if-
skull itself has power.
Okay. So you're saying we turn the skull into a weapon that we can use?
Preferably with the person willing. But yes.
And who is willing to wield Pervon's skull as a weapon?
What is it capable of doing?
The
Bingo.
rest of the skeleton is any indication. That'd be
can-
great.
I can cast Identify on it.
Please.
Okay, well, after the short rest, I will mage hand the skull out of my pouch, or out of my handy haversack.
Good idea.
Place it in the ground in front of me, and get out my book and start ritual casting Identify. So it takes 10 minutes.
All right, 10 minutes goes by. You cast Identify on Pervon's skull, and it is the skull of the champion Pervon. You sense energy to it, no specific incantation, no specific power, but you do sense that power could be gleaned through it, almost like an amplifier of sorts. That if one were to enchant this skull, its power that was granted to it from the Raven Queen would amplify whatever enchantment was placed upon it, assuming it was done. Basically, assuming someone could pass a high enough test to overpower the will of Pervon.
So, what's your? So it would the power that is within the skull. If an enchantment would be placed onto it, given a high enough check, the power would escalate the enchantment further.
Yes.
I will relay that information to the party.
So, for example, if someone gave the skull true sight for 60 feet, on the skull it would be 120.
Okay, or if it, for example, it was made a +1 to like spell attacks and all that, it would
be
become
2.
2.
Yep.
Okay.
Is there currently no enchantment on?
No. I assume there's not.
And to point out, Xavier, just for your understanding, the ability is leagues above yours.
All right. This is the skull has quite a bit of power to it. It doesn't have an enchantment itself, so the identify didn't really give me a description of it. But if I would, or if somebody even greater at enchanting items would put an enchantment on the skull, whatever it may be, it would further increase the power of that enchantment.
So it's an arcane amplifier, is what you're saying.
Arcane, divine, it's an amplifier.
Yes, it amplifies magical power that's been placed onto it.
So that's probably what it does for the wand, is amplify its power.
Most likely.
So whatever, if we could find someone who could do it, it would amplify whatever enchantment we put into it.
If I was given the right situation and all that, I could probably do it myself, but that would require time.
We have Gilmore. We have Jakar.
I do not trust Jakar with this.
I don't trust Jakar either.
I do trust Gilmore.
I don't think anyone trusts Jakar.
His power of enchantment is very great.
I don't really trust anybody at this point.
Met Gilmore. Gilmore's great.
When it's Gilmore.
Yes, when it is
Yep.
actually Gilmore.
We
But I was the only one who caught that it wasn't actually Gilmore.
After telling him everything.
could also,
Fantastic, we're pointing fingers. How about a solution instead?
well, if the wand already has power to itself, we honestly could just keep this skull to ourselves and just keep our lips sealed. We don't need to have, let people know we have it.
I agree. If it's with us for a good while.
It would be in my pouch, and nobody would know it was there unless they stole my pouch. Stole my bag. Which I keep.
Remind me.
We could keep it until we find a safe place.
I don't remember if we discussed this or not, but destroying the skull.
Well,
So then no one has it. Did we discuss that?
Well, if we... Are you talking out of game or in game?
Yes.
Well, although it doesn't have a specific magic to it, it still is magical, and magical weapons or magical items in general are, let's say, harder to destroy.
If
But
not
they-
impossible.
But they can be destroyed, can't they?
They can be if the right circumstances are met.
But
For example,
this isn't just a normal magical item that we're speaking about. This is the skull of somebody who has passed.
Y-
So
yes. But
Is it actually magical?
I take the detect magic stone and run it over it.
It goes off.
Yes, it's
Okay.
magical.
Now we know.
Well,
Boy, if only all things could be that simple.
well, think of it like this, Vale. You know Diamax phylactery that we destroyed.
Mm-hmm.
You were able to destroy it because you were hurting a specific part of it with your monk abilities,
Sure.
and it was able to penetrate further into that phylactery,
Mm-hmm.
which in turn destroyed it. We'd have to do something very similar with the skull. There is, if we find, if we put it to an environment where it's hard to exist, it would eventually be destroyed. Like, say, throwing it into a pit of lava. That's
I doubt it would work that way, but the plane of fire.
that too. We could also hit it with a high enough leveled dispel magic would also do the trick. Although it'd be a lot harsher for that. Sorry about the people screaming in the background if you can hear that.
Yes.
Again, fine.
The voices in Xavier's head.
No, I said shut up. I already told them that.
Well, this is an interesting.
I'm getting there.
Character development.
Shouldn't have given both daggers. High charisma, but the cost.
But the cost. Well, does anybody else have an idea of where we could keep it, or have a place where we could stow it?
Yeah.
And where
The
would that?
reason why I brought up the weapon idea is because Uldoris has the ability to just poof his scythe in and out of reality. So it's a lot harder to steal.
That is
I
true.
don't know if things can be attuned to it though, like bonded to.
Consume the skull. Consume the skull.
No. Well,
Get rid of
if,
metal.
like we said, and I told you when I identified it, if we could almost make it into a different kind of weapon. We could almost take a scythe. So, I don't. Is your? I know the hexblade and all that, or not the hexblade, the Pact of the Blade. Are you just creating a scythe, or is it a magical scythe that you're bonded to?
Right now, it's a shadow scythe.
That you said, okay.
I have not. Yeah, I haven't
Okay.
taken any other weapon and
Consume
bonded with
it.
or
Bonded.
consumed it. Yeah, it's right now. It's just shadow.
Well, we could almost make you a scythe with this and affix this to part of it, and possibly make you a pretty powerful weapon. Like I said, it would take some
And this is
time.
Peggy talking. He could consume it
Okay.
and get real metal, but that's Peggy talking.
You cannot consume the skull. That is not how that works.
I am not eating somebody's skull.
That
Does
was
not sound like a
Peggy.
good
That was
plan.
I don't care.
Yeah, we-
I still talk to you as if I was Xavier, because that's not how that works.
just grind it up. Just,
But-
season
No.
things.
You need to take a nap.
Well,
Hey, Uldoris, you want to go to a line of skull with me?
I don't know what that means. But no.
Oh god,
Okay,
that hurt my
okay, enough
nasal
of-
passage.
okay, enough of this.
Fragments.
Fragments.
I have my spell back. I can cast teleportation circle. Where are we going?
Iman?
Come on.
Yeah, don't you have things to do there?
Not necessarily there, but close to there. Yes,
Well, that would get us close then, wouldn't it?
yes, it would.
I'll work on building the base scythe for Uldoris, and Peggy can go off find Gilmore.
I'll work on.
Sorry, Elena.
Gil?
I said Peggy.
I'll work on.
Who?
We can either ask.
Gilmore
We
will
can,
most likely be in Whitestone. That's where he is typically, but there's a chance that he might be in.
well, we can also. Glaive, did you want to send him a message and ask him where he might be? We might need his help. If you're capable
I
of doing
didn't
it.
prepare that spell, and we only had a short rest. Which out spells.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, short rest.
We would
Yeah.
totally take a full rest, you know?
Well, I kind of don't want to be out here in the cold.
Cold is great.
Says the person that was born in it.
Take us to Amon. We can get to an inn. I can take my long rest there. While me and Uldoris
We don't
figure
need
out
an
his
inn.
weapon.
Okay, get back that way.
Let's get to Iman.
Back that way. I push him into one half the dome, and I'll spend the minute casting and drawing the circle to the nest.
Okay. You spend it's 1 minute, correct?
Yes.
All right. So you spend the 1 minute casting teleportation. The glyphs on the ground begin to glow around you, the shield dome around you reflecting the symbols on the ground. As it begins to illuminate and you begin to feel that sensation of teleportation begin, there's a brief moment before it has completed. You feel the ground around you shake. Glancing up into the center of the lake, you see 5 massive tentacles streaming up out of the water, followed by a huge, gaping maw that penetrates through just as you teleport out of there.
From the quick thing I saw, could I make... I don't care if it's at a disadvantage. Could I make like a knowledge check on if I knew what that might have been?
It's Cthulhu!
Make just a straight knowledge check.
Not Kahultu.
Okay.
Kahultu.
So intelligence. Okay. Nope. That's an 8.
8? No, all you know is that it was big and purple with many, many teeth.
Well, the Elena die is going away for right now.
It's for the
And
best.
Poorly for me.
anyway, you appear in the nest.
What was that?
I don't know, but
Hi,
we're in a
creature.
different continent now.
Oh, maybe we should warn someone.
Well, we don't have the spells to
Lady
warn anybody
Eva,
now, and I
maybe?
don't have the magic to teleport anywhere else.
Well, the tomb is secure.
The tomb is no more.
All the more reason to not worry about it anymore?
Just remembering Pervon punching the holder.
This is what sets him off.
My
Uh,
goddamn hero.
Well, you should pay for commissions for that.
That was
I just wanna
Oh,
see
we really should. I'll chip in for that.
that.
Excuse me. I need to get a commission of a headless skeleton punching a zombie
Stay
beholder
with
in
me
the
here,
forehead. No, come back.
No.
Trust me, it'll be great.
I like how you played out that conversation in your head. That was great. Alright. I'll have rooms arranged for you all.
See, now I'm not the one getting rooms arranged for us.
Can't we just go back to the keep?
We could.
We could. I mean, we're right
It's like
here.
an hour walk outside the city, though.
It is a very long.
I don't know about what time would it be here.
You don't currently know unless someone wants to make a nature check.
I got this.
Or if anyone has that ability where you always know what time it is.
Nope,
So-
I
no
look
one
at the
has seen
sun.
mine.
Where's the sun?
God have that.
We are far below.
In the meantime, Uldoris says, Vale,
Yes?
have you spoken to your friend, your frog friend?
Very early in the morning.
Okay.
I have not yet. I haven't had the time.
Don't you think we should do that soon?
Probably. We've been running around a lot.
Okay, I just want to make sure you don't forget.
And it's the Scryball is an attuned item, and we've been. I haven't had a good moment.
Okay.
Well, you have a moment now.
So that anyone is aware, it is very early in the morning here.
Oh, that makes things a little. So we can either go to a nearby inn, or we can go back to Great Skull Keep.
But you're having rooms arranged.
Well, we're kind of full at capacity, especially since it's early in the morning.
All right.
People are still asleep.
Plus, we wouldn't get our money's worth.
You wouldn't get yours money worth. Okay. It's this way.
What does that mean?
I lead them back to the entrance.
As you walk toward the open door leading to the entry hall, it suddenly closes shut. There is a man standing there in a long, very thin black leather outfit with a number of daggers on his hilt. You see what appears to be feathers that have been stippled into the collar of the outfit. He's tall, maybe in his late 40s, with balding hair on the top and a very thin goatee around his chin.
I pull out my bow.
A bow, indoors.
It's my first reaction to most people sneaking up on me.
But Mom, it's just my bow.
It's just my bow.
Xavier, you were not to return until you had completed the Emerald Outpost assignment.
Well, seeing as how this was the quickest way back here, I'm heading there now.
Indeed. And where is your loving father?
He is still there waiting for me. That's why I'm heading out now. Now, if you please open the door and let us through.
He looks at you long and hard, eyes squinted. You can see a almost seething hatred underneath his gaze. Releases the door, doesn't open it, but just walks slowly away. Careful. He won't always be here to vouch for. And heads in the direction of the Phoenix Chamber.
And who is that dick?
That is the leader of the nest.
Is he gonna be a problem?
To me, yes. To you all, he shouldn't. And if he does become one, well, let's just get to the entrance.
Yeah.
All right, you all walk into the room, opening the door. The same room that you had entered in with the two Phoenix guards around the central teleportation glyph in the room, with the many suits of armor lining the walls. Assuming a position around the teleportation circle, Xavier, do you have the spell slot for teleportation currently?
Xavier?
Mackenzie?
Oh, I thought it was muted. So I tried to unmute myself, but then I muted myself. Shit, fuck. No, damn. I'm all tapped right now. I can't teleport us. I mean, I could try to ask for somebody else who can also teleport us, but give me a moment. I will see if
Are we not in Amon right now?
You are.
We are in Amon. It's we are. Just
And is there no just exit from here?
It's shifty secret society stuff.
well, I'll be right back. And I will go and find one of the teleporters.
I figured there should be an escape route. Exit
Xavier,
hatch.
Xavier, you do know a couple hatches. You also know that it's a very long climb and many stairs up to the top.
Yes.
And so if you're looking at the map right over here, you see this?
Yeah.
That would lead up to the surface via stairs, but it would be a very long climb, very exhausting climb, perilous. There would be traps, and you don't even remember where that comes out. You've only ever teleported in and out. And usually one of the crows would also be able... A crow, a owl, a phoenix would be able to teleport you as well.
Yes, so I will...
I think you want the leader to...
No, I don't want him. He's a dick.
Yeah, I agree.
I'll find the closest crow.
Hey, Alan, you just yelled at us, but...
Fuck that.
Y'all thought my brother was a dick.
No, we still do.
He's a bigger dick.
Yes, he is.
This stick has a few more years.
The That's
Okay, now we're comparing dicks. Let's move on.
Yeah, please.
What? What? You don't know his name could be Richard. Okay.
So, who are you going to seek out?
Choose wisely.
If I remember correctly, most of my siblings are out.
There is one that you know. There are three that you know are here. Alex is here somewhere. Charlotte is here somewhere, and
Alex is
Mavis
here.
is here somewhere.
Oh, Mavis is back. Huh.
Well, Mavis was at the
Yeah, I was about to say. I thought she was.
Mavis was at the entrance.
Really?
So where are we right now? On this map?
I don't remember
Let me.
where my notes go. What the heck?
Okay. What's in this room?
What is in? That's where you are right now.
Yeah. What is in there? Like on
Uh,
the walls? Is there
two-
anything?
On the walls, there's a whole bunch of statues of armored, what look to be ravens and crows and other bird-like knights holding swords and daggers and shields.
Okay.
Okay.
Well,
Are these
I.
quality armors?
Why don't you go inspect
They,
them?
they do look as you take a look at them, they do look very nice. They are a lot of them are onyx with gold inlay on the accents of the armor.
So,
Yes.
so I know that Alex and Charlotte and Mavis are all here, or at least the ones that can cast it. But the rest are here, but they can't, except for John. John's fucked off somewhere. Okay. I will try to find Mavis.
All right, make an investigation check.
Hey, I'm good at those. I will try to roll the veil die. Famous last words.
Fool.
Should've read.
That's not bad. That's 16.
Okay, so you know that Mavis has her sleeping quarters near the fledgling bunks. So you make your way around through the almost maze-like catacombs of this underground area. The cold fire torches sending a chill through your bones, though you welcome it knowing how hot this place can be when those aren't functioning. You go through the dining hall into the fledgling area where you see a number of bunks, several of them filled with people between the ages of 10 and 18, it looks like. 5 beds filled and a number of other beds empty in the room. You know to get to Mavis's room, for some reason on this map, you have to go through Alex's room first. So as you walk up, look, this map's weird.
You made it.
I did, I know. You walk up to Alex's door and very quietly creak it open, and you see him in there in his bed. Sound asleep. I assume we're being stealthy in this endeavor.
Oh yes. Are we there?
Wait, I thought we were
Sorry.
waiting for the entry.
I'm
hall.
sorry.
No, they're
I heard
waiting.
stealth.
They're waiting
There? Oh, okay. In that case, save your stealth check if you're
Sorry,
being
I
quiet.
heard stealth. I got excited.
Sure, I'll try to be stealthy for him. What the fuck? What the...
Should've rolled the Elena die.
12.
Should have rolled the veil die.
What was it?
12.
All right. As you come in the door, shit, you try to creep forward on the stonework, and as you come in,
Somehow,
your shoulder boom, bumps into a ledger that was held up on a bookshelf. Knocks over. Fuck. You hear in the corner. I told you guys to stay out of my room.
Oh,
A pillow suddenly baps you in the side of the head.
I take it and toss it harder.
Oh.
Oh, when I get a hold of you, fuck, Abigail, get back here. Xavier?
Pillow fight.
I make
Pillow
my
fight.
dancing lights. I was just trying to wake you.
Xavier fucking Constantine. He gets up out of bed, runs over, and just gives you a great big hug, lifts you off your feet, spins you around.
I hate that you're fucking twice my size. Or not, maybe not twice the size, but bigger than me.
You're back. Oh, man, it's gonna be just like old times. Dude, what's up, man? What are you doing?
I'm currently trying to get out of here, but I'm currently all out of magic to teleport out.
trying to get back. You just got home. You weren't gonna say hi.
You were all asleep. It's early. That's why I was
Fuck
trying
you!
to wake
He punches you in the shoulder.
Ow, dick!
Asshole.
Oh god, there's another dick. I'm surrounded by dicks.
Apparently, this one's a nice dick.
Sausage party.
You're Richard. You're Richard, and you're Richard.
I'm surrounded by assholes.
What do you mean? What do you mean you're trying to get out of here?
I have a mission that I need to go on, but
Wait,
you know the climate.
you didn't do the mission yet,
I've been trying to, but this is the first opportunity I've been able to
dude.
leave.
Alan's gonna kill you,
I've already met Alan.
and he didn't kill you.
Surprisingly. Maybe because he you know it's because of Scott. You know,
Yeah, I know it's because of Scott. Because Scott hasn't been here in over 2 months. It's been shit without him here.
That's why I'm trying to head out now. I was trying to get to. I heard Mavis. Remember the Mavis is still here, so I was trying to get her.
Mavis. Yeah, yeah. Okay, sure. Say hi to Mavis. Don't say hi to me.
You are asleep. I know you liked your beauty
Yeah.
rest.
Mavis is asleep. Everyone is asleep, Xavier. It's 2:00 in the morning.
She's an elf. She's awake right now. She doesn't sleep. You know this.
Look, just because you're right doesn't mean you're not an asshole, okay, Xavier?
Go back to sleep. Like smack with his pillow.
Fine, I could have helped you out, but fine, sure. Go with Mavis. Go with Mavis. Even though Mavis is watching the door.
She's awake. That's why I wanted to get her.
She's out at the door.
She's at the
Is she?
front door, Mackenzie.
Charlotte is the one that's here and asleep right now, Xavier.
I didn't know that. I just got back. I almost got fucking killed by a beholder skeleton.
Boulder skeleton.
Yeah, it's just a giant floating skull. It's kind of cool, I gotta admit.
You almost got killed by a giant skull. Xavier.
You're laughing
Skeletons
now.
are scary.
You're laughing now.
No. I'm not laughing at you.
I'm gonna
I love this
I'm
guy.
gonna shove him back into his bed and cast sleep.
Dick.
Wow.
That is a dick move.
That's gonna be a 12.
You know that works better
Uh,
if you punch them harder.
Strength, contested strength, or
Oh, contestants.
yeah.
Oh,
well, I'm
yeah,
trying to shove him.
Jeez.
9.
20, natural 20.
Of
You knock him over here and go, asshole.
Oh, thank God. I'll head back to the door.
Wow.
Oh, Jesus.
Maybe want to start with that next time.
We're not with him right now.
Oh, we're not.
No,
No.
I said stay here, and I went.
We're just yelling at him because it's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Medic gave me-
So now you're going to Charlotte's room?
Get a
No,
real
I'm-
bird problem in here.
Mavis is at the door, so I'm watching the. Oh, damn it! Damn it! She's watching outside. She's already out. Damn it! Yes, I'll get Charlotte.
All right.
Guy back up. Hey.
All right.
He's magical asleep now. He's not gonna wake up.
So you make your way over towards Charlotte's room, and so what are you going to do there? Alex, if that's you again at 3:00 in the morning to study, I'm not interested right now.
To
Oh.
study.
I'll just say through the door. Well, fine. I guess I'll go somewhere else.
Fuck you, Alec. Alex? Alex?
Yes, it's totally Alex. Open the door.
You hear kind of rustle in the room. A bench kind of gets knocked into. Ow! Fuck! Door. A couple locks get turned on it. Door. You see the red-haired, freckled girl that you knew. Slightly older now, by a couple months, but you can see that she's looking a little more mature, and she has what appears to be a thin silk bathrobe drawn up around her, squinting in the blue torchlight from the hallway.
Hey, could you? I'm sorry to wake you, but can you do me a
Xavier.
yes? Could you do me a quick favor?
The door closes.
Say,
Yes. Try to lock this. Try to lock the door again. I'll get right in.
I'm not locking the door. I'm just putting on some clothes.
We should have said that.
You hear some rustling in there. A dresser opens. A couple tense moments pass as you stand awkwardly in the hallway. The door reopens this time fully. You see her in front of you wearing the kind of similar to Alan long black leather outfit with wing encrusted, like for life of me, I can't think of the word tooling. That's the word tooling across its shoulder pieces. What is it? Where are we going?
Just up to the door.
So we're not stealing anything tonight?
No.
You were back. I figured we were going to do a heist.
No, I spent all my magic trying to get me and my party back here. I don't have the magic to get to the door.
She puts her head down, drops a belt of thieves' tools back onto the bed. She storms past in the hallway. Never need for anything on the fucking door. Walking down the hall.
I grab her hand. We'll steal something later. I have to get up now.
Fine. She pulls her hand out of your grasp. Fine. We'll steal something later.
I left a ruby in her hand.
Don't think this gets you out of trouble, she says with a wink and keeps walking.
I will make it back.
Anyway, she continues walking a little bit quicker than you were expecting for someone who just woke up.
We walked through Alex's room. He's just like not even fully on his bed. It's just,
She makes her way toward the entry hall. The door opens, and you all see this girl kind of enter. She looks about 25 years old, very small, very petite.
they've met her before, though.
Charlotte?
Yeah, she was the
no, Mavis was the one at the
Mavis.
No, I thought it was Charlotte that was at the door when we first got here.
Pretty sure it was Mavis, wasn't it?
I'm pretty sure it was Mavis.
No, you said Charlotte.
Oh, okay, I guess I have it backwards. Then yes, this is the girl you saw before.
Okay.
The one who is supremely disappointed with our riddle solving skills?
Yes.
Oh, yes, that was
Okay.
it.
Because
we've met.
we went back there like an hour later after I first got there.
Okay, then I did do this right. I was wondering why I had Charlotte on the day shift and Mavis on the night shift. I'm like, I thought they met night Mavis. All right, cool. No, never mind. Then yes, I apologize. It was Charlotte.
Cool.
So she opens the door. Oh, right. You guys. So there's no point in having a riddle to get out of here, right?
We're already
Please
in
don't.
here. I think getting out would be
You know,
expeditious.
out of Beholder School, I'm not in the mood for riddles.
You're never in the mood for riddles.
Screw you, Xavier.
I
You
like
weren't
her.
Just to
any good at
figure
them
you out
either.
all the time. Of course she's not. Moving on.
Charlotte looks over at Vale. I like that one.
What?
Were you
Wait,
pointing at Elena, or are you pointing
At Elena. At Elena.
I was like,
I just facepalm
Anyway, everyone get on the circle.
as I walk by Elena. Siblings aren't easy to deal with.
Okay, one teleportation circle to the center of the Osmit Sea coming up. And
Raise
she,
your hand if you're an only child.
and she touches the ground, and there's a blinding flash of white light. And some of you brace yourself for being suddenly in the middle of the Osmit Sea and find yourself back in that dank
Put my hood up.
owlery.
Do we see anybody there?
Yes, there is an old woman sitting in the corner petting an owl.
Hello, Mavis.
Hello, Xavier.
Wow. Your acting broke very quickly there.
Xavier, what are you doing here?
I needed a quick trip back here, and the circles here were the only ones I know.
You, yes? No, what?
One step at a time.
Hi.
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 How are you? Drop the disguise, please.
The disguise drops, and you see the elven girl with very short black hair, trimmed almost all the way up to the side of the scalp. very long pointed ears, wearing the same black attire as before. Hi, hi. She looks very nervous and kind of fidgeting with herself suddenly. She drops the owl, like it kind of flutters a little bit over to the side. She gets up hastily from the chair. Hey, she comes like to give you a hug, but it's one of those awkward, like doesn't know which arm to go where, and
I just give her a big hug and pick her up.
Hey. Eventually, she kind of like relaxes into it, gives you a hug over the shoulders. I missed you.
I missed you too. Did Charlotte give you the present I told her to give you?
No, we switched shifts pretty quickly. I didn't get a chance to see her.
She better not keeping that for herself. Well,
knowing her, she probably is, and I'll kick her ass for that or steal it later. What are you doing here tonight?
We had some other urgent business we had to get done, and like I said, the teleportation circles here were the quickest way to get back.
Well, I mean, what are you doing tonight?
Well, we're pretty tired. We're gonna go get some sleep. We just have somewhere else we're gonna do that at.
Oh,
this is very confusing. I know.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah. I was just, she kind of puts her hand up through her hair and starts looking off the side. I was, gonna see if you wanted to, join me for that rally by the docks and maybe catch a bite to eat tonight. But yeah, you can. Just haven't seen you in forever. Just wanted to. Yeah, no, you got your friends. You go. Yeah.
Well, I'll have to take a rain check this time, but definitely another time. Oh, by the way, these are my friends. I will introduce them. The tiefling over there, that's Eldorus.
Hello.
She doesn't even make eye contact. She's like, hi, looking at the ground, kind of, hi.
This is Vale.
Hi, Vale, third wheel extraordinaire.
Did Pinky drop again?
Oh yeah.
That's great.
Wait, what happened?
She dropped again. I noticed she wasn't in the call.
She hasn't cat-proofed her computer yet.
Oh.
This is Sapala. Hopefully she's able to talk.
No, she's muted.
Alright. This is Sapala. This is Glaive.
Hi.
And then that one over there is Elena.
Hello.
The one struggling with a cat.
Her eyes kind of glance up and directly make eye contact with Elena, unlike the other ones. Hi.
Hi.
Where's my popcorn?
Target acquired.
I
Destroy.
Hey, what did I miss?
think she just cast Hunter's Mark.
I think she just cast Bane.
Oh my.
This is my
Wait, what did I...
this is my sister Mavis.
Hello.
I don't know if you heard her description.
Briefly, no.
She was gone a while ago.
Petite elf girl, about 20 years old, with very, very short, almost buzz cut black hair, very long, pure blood elf ears, kind of freckles, dark brown eyes, very shy, very nervous kind of person that was guarding the door.
Technically, she's still a baby in elven years.
Oh yeah.
So are you in Elven years.
Yeah, but I'm a half-elf. I'm mature at 20.
Well,
She likes to think she's matured. Okay, but
And you said she is your sister?
Non-biological.
yeah, don't you see the resemblance? And I point to the
look
ears.
at the ears, Eldoris.
That's why I was confused.
Sit.
I'm sorry.
Sorry. Family in a different sense.
No, I'm sorry. It's awkward.
It's not awkward.
It's awkward.
I have plenty
Mai, is that the
It's
exit? Do you want us to step out for a
my
minute?
Just-
biological
Okay,
family.
we're heading out.
Yeah,
We'll
yeah.
definitely go out another time, and I give her a big kiss on the forehead.
Yeah. You see her kind of squint and look down.
Critical.
Yeah. Transforms back into an old woman. Yeah. Go on.
That is jarring.
You're telling me. Shit. That hurt.
All right. So you are exiting the owlery.
Yes.
So as you exit the owlery, you are no longer in the alley you had been before in the market district. As you exit the building, you now appear to be on the northern end of Iman, toward the dock side.
Why could we not have gotten closer?
Is there a barn over here?
Dark side.
Something.
You are
Dark side.
you're about here-ish.
Oh. Ah! Okay.
Well, shall we
I
get?
mean, that's not too terribly.
That's much closer than I thought.
We could either go to the keep, or we could find it.
Where's the keep from here?
The red square.
Oh shit. That's really far.
So, real quick, just quick tangent. On the legend here, this letter right here, it's absolutely the Traverse Junction, but this absolutely looks like an F.
Traverse Function.
Traveler
Math.
I couldn't DM until I scribbled over it and written my own word over it.
Wow.
Traveler God.
So,
Going on.
as you all step out into the streets, you hear the muffled sound of chanting along the port.
Oh, I know. Is it like
Not again.
musical sailor chanting or like cultist raising a
Um,
demon chanting?
More like, kind of a mixture of both.
Oh,
you,
God,
you
that
hear
What do
like,
we want? Fair
You-
wages. When do we want it? Now.
yes, actually, kind of more along those lines. You hear people voices chanting out, as you step out into the air.
We hear and
Mm.
Oh,
It's the things people yell at the castle when they've treated unfairly.
Take it back now, y'all.
Yeah. Two hops is dad.
Oh no. Terrible. Let's
But
not-
one thing you do, there seems to be a rabble, and it's hard to kind of understand. Some of it you do hear is very something along the lines of "down with the council," reject the Arcana Pansophical.
Are they even in charge?
They are who Iman is indebted to,
Oh.
along with Singorn and the Arcana Pansophical. And one thing you keep hearing chanted is "Rise the Dethrone."
Oh no! That is not a good chant.
Why?
Rise the dethrone. Drassig.
Yeah, so.
I'm too tired for this shit. Let's just find an inn
Do you
nearby.
not know of Drassig?
It's politics. Who
Let's-
gives a shit?
Go to the keep, because there I can get the tools necessary to start measuring for tools for the
Let's do
weapon.
that.
Fine.
Going to be a long
All
walk,
right.
but all right.
You begin to walk through the streets away from the sound of the chanting. As you pass the docks, you get a glimpse down toward the waterfront. You see a mass of hundreds of people surrounding what appears to be a form of podium at the center. You can't really make out details in that direction, but you see large banners and torches and probably 150 to 200 people chanting around this area. The muffled voice in the distance, you hear one voice calling out above the rest, a very
I want to know now.
as,
Right?
Closer.
as it shouts out something, the entire crowd cheers in acceptance.
Reminds me of
You-
when-
Praise Talos!
it reminds me of when the Mighty Nine.
I
first-
love
That right there just reminded me when Mighty Nine first met Pumat Soul, and he goes in the back.
Yeah.
Yes.
That was a great scene.
As you go through the streets heading toward the lower slums, you begin to pass more and more people who appear to be making their way toward the port.
I kind of want to go see
This
what it's
early
all
in the
about.
morning?
I kind of don't.
People are even leaving their house and locking up behind them. You see carrying large satchels and even traveling. They're heading toward. But nonetheless, you begin to make your way through the city. About an hour of travel passes. You've made your way out of the city, past the gate. You notice there are no guards in sight.
Oh, boy.
Probably all congregating at the port. Huh, fantastic.
Not good.
So, you continue on,
Yes.
unharassed for the rest of the journey, making your way as very, very. Never mind. It's still pitch black outside. Sorry, I had to think about what time of year the sun starts to rise at like 4 in the morning.
Well, Doris is gonna peel away and see if he can figure out what's going.
I kind of want to go with you.
Are you going to sneak away, Oldoris?
Oh, he's gonna try.
Make your stealth check.
Can I have to see him sneaking away?
Make a perception check. And Oldoris, don't you have your meld with shadows trick?
Oh, come on.
Well, when I'm not moving or when I'm not doing anything, yeah.
Just hobbit it. You just crouch down, throw your cloak over yourself.
What was that smoke cloud we just walked through? That's probably nothing.
Is it bad that I've been sitting here this whole time and I didn't have my dice out in front of me?
So, Cal, I really want to.
21.
Oh, that's dirty.
Well, yeah. She's been practicing.
Someone said my name.
Yeah, I mean, now I want to get like a commission of all my siblings done.
Oh God, that'd be so
God.
expensive.
That would be so.
I'm gonna miss you when you're living on the street.
Well, if it's just like a portrait shot, I could probably find someone that would do it for like $10 a piece.
You have 8, not including the owls.
I want to miss that guy. Remember Mackenzie?
That's still $80.
Thought he could make 2 characters.
Shut up.
Anyway, what'd you get? Oldoris?
I think he went to go get his.
Let's
he's
see.
there.
Stealth.
Yes.
Let's see. That one is a 17, but I have advantage in darkness, and that one's going to be a 15. So
I still notice him.
So yeah,
he
Oldoris,
doesn't
you
spot those anyway.
yeah. So Oldoris, you go to peel away from the party, and Elena, you look over your shoulder and see Oldoris kind of turn and head down one of the alleys.
Oh, I totally want to follow him. I'm gonna stealth away.
Stay safe.
Anyone else going with Elena?
I want to see.
I wanna
I
see if
want to
I-
watch to see if she tries to
Well-
be sneaky.
22.
I noticed that Eldoris peels away.
How do you notice?
I have a
Who's
20
got a pass?
passive.
20.
Yeah.
He's an
I'm
asshole,
supposed
that's
to be
how.
the stealthiest one here, and
Are
everybody.
you? Oh.
Hmm.
Are you?
Like, can,
It's supposed to be.
and can I roll to see if I see Elena following?
Yeah, with your passive, you can with your passive noticing of Oldoris, you can notice to see if Elena switches too.
Okay.
Actually, no, your passive.
This
That was 20 versus 22.
Yeah, you didn't
That's
notice her there. You weren't paying attention. You didn't see her slip away.
Okay.
We're both watching Eldoris, and Elena just leaves the other way.
No, I'm following him. But
Well, in circle, whatever.
Well, Doris, what are you doing?
He doesn't say anything. He keeps going.
Whatever. Xavier continues on to the keep.
Okay. Vale,
Yeah, I just whispered, stay safe into the earring. Keep going.
Sapala.
I don't know if she's here.
I don't think she's here. I don't think she could talk.
Sapala, I miss you.
We
She's
love
muted again for some reason.
Stop muting the halfling.
She keeps muting herself.
Don't think she means to. Can we?
Can you send
assume
a
that
message?
She goes with... Oh wait, here we go.
Glaive? What's Glaive doing?
Yeah, what's Glaive?
Anybody asking about Glaive?
Glaive, what are you doing?
I'm doing exactly what I said I would be doing. Trying to get back to the
So,
castle
keep.
so I can do measurement.
Yeah,
Okay.
cool.
I'm going to assume then, unless I see something from Kayla in a few seconds,
I would expect she's going to the keep.
she's going to the Keep with Glaive. All right. So it's just Oldores and Elena sneaking off. So the rest of you make your way to the Keep unharassed.
Yay!
Oldores and Elena, are
Find
you
that
still
guard that was hurt.
separately?
I eventually sneak up on Ildores and ask him if he's going to the rally.
You scared the shit out of him. What are
What
you
that smell
doing?
was.
What is the one you're going to do?
That's not the point of scaring, is it?
I like you less and less the more time I spend with you.
Well then, are you still going to the rally or whatever thing that we saw?
I want to know what's going on.
The same.
We have to be careful, though. If this is going to get dangerous, then, I mean,
I'm stealthy and I put up my hood. My
clearly
hood of
more so
elven
than I
kind.
am.
Hmm?
So he's going to keep moving, assuming that she's hot on his heels, and he's going to keep making his way up towards, in that direction, kind of like trying to like look around corners to see if he can get a view of what.
Yeah.
So as you make a perception check,
Both of us?
let's say Eldores with advantage.
Okay.
First roll was a natural 20.
Oh,
Ooh.
all right. So you find a good vantage point on one of the side warehouses lining the dock of Amman on the port where this is all going down. You see a large trading ship is docked here. And at the end of the dock, there is a man standing on top of many crates. And behind him, there are a number of workers that appear to be pulling in off the boat large boxes of bread and fruits and vegetables. And some in the line in front of the person who is talking are handing out these fruits and vegetables to the people in the crowd in front. And there's a large contingent of guards that has formed on the outside around the crowd of people. Looks like most of the guards of the city are just kind of standing with pole arms at ready outside. And the man on top of the box is mid-speech right now, and who else is tired of being hungry on the streets? And there's a general "Yeah!" from the crowd. Who is tired of being subjugated by the council of this city? "Ah! We will not stand for it any longer, my friends. We will not stand for the oppression that has been placed upon our people. Each day we struggle in Amman. Each day we fight to rebuild for a city that no longer gives a damn about its people. Edward Drassig cares about the people." There's a general murmur from the crowd as he says this. A few other people raise their fists in agreeance. We will no longer stand for the subjugation of the elves. We will no longer stand to be subjugated to the arcana pansophical. Stand with us and reclaim the throne that was once taken from us by the evil council of Taldore and the old kings who struck him down. And there's kind of another rumble through the crowd of agreement.
Just don't sound good, Ildores.
No, it doesn't. I mean, it sounds good, but it doesn't sound good.
No.
He continues talking, discussing those who wish to join the fight of Edward Drassig. need only show their support when time comes. Those who are able and willing to fight should meet in the Umber Hills north of Iman, is what is said. And at that point, one of the guards, one of the ones that actually harassed Xavier earlier, begins to make his way through the crowds, followed by about 4 others. They kind of push their way through to the front. Some of the people kind of fighting to get in front of him, trying to get to some of the bread and food. However, he kind of elbows them to the side and approaches the man on the podium and begins saying things you can't quite hear from this distance.
Not even with my elven ears.
Make a perception check, elven woman.
Yeah, if only someone who could read lips was there.
To read the lips of the guy facing away from him.
You said a
I don't know.
perception.
That's how I imagined it.
Yeah.
24.
Jeez, I set that DC at 20. With a combination of reading lips and kind of straining to hear over the rabble of the crowd, you get the general gist of you are under arrest for inciting rebellion against the Council of Taldore.
Nice.
You will be coming with us. And he begins to, kind of not pull him off the podium, but reaches up. And as he does, the person comes down willingly, but he says, You see, my friends, this is how they silence the truth. You see that those who speak out against the council are silenced. Will you stand idly by?
Oh no.
As he's pulled away, one of the fruit is suddenly hurled from someone in the
No.
crowd toward the guard.
How far off is this from us currently?
You're about 50 feet from the crowd, 100 feet from the guy.
Okay. I'm gonna do something stupid.
Okay.
Yes.
If I can find my cards, there they are. I am going to cast a spell, and kill everyone. No, I'm just kidding.
Hunger
I
of the
want to
gods.
get into a
Rabble.
more advantageous position if I can first. I'm not going to try and be stealthy anymore, so to speak. I'm just going to straighten up a little bit, and I'm going to walk out into the alley around the corner, and I'm going to make my way further towards, not into the crowd, but further towards like the front line of the crowd, just off to the side. And I'm going to turn around. I'm going to pull my hood up, and I'm going to cast Fear. Did you hear that?
Oh, yeah, I hear you. I'm waiting for further explanation.
Okay. And I'm going to try and cast Fear at as many of these people in a 30-foot cone as I can. Mainly the ones that are hurling things at the
guards.
soldiers.
Okay.
So it's a DC 15.
That's a fail.
They drop whatever they're holding and they become frightened. And I'm going to move further into the crowd. And I'm going to well, it doesn't really let me choose what I do, but it says you project a phantasmal image of a creature's worst fears. So I'm just, as myself, I'm going with my hood up, I'm going to walk towards all these people projecting this image of whatever the heck it is that they're all so afraid of.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm trying to interrupt this mob, basically.
Yeah.
So here's my thought process and concern is that if half the crowd suddenly starts screaming in terror and running in the other direction, the other half of the crowd is going to be pushing up against them and the guards in the middle, and there's going to be some confusion from those on the other side as to what's going on. And why people are suddenly shrieking and screaming and what their reaction is going to be to that.
But it's going to be great.
Can I get into a position where that can be avoided, where I can just push like half the crowd off further back into the city and make them, and not have them run at the other half of the crowd? That's what I'm trying to avoid.
Towards
So
the water.
it's a very large crowd here,
Oh, is it?
and
Okay.
and to get, you said you were going to try to get to the front of it, which means that there would be a rather large line of people behind you and in front of them. And let me should I draw a diagram?
Yeah, because I guess I'm not really understanding.
Yeah, let's see here. I think, where am I? Okay, here we are. All right. Drawing time with Cal.
Yay!
I love it.
All
It's
right.
it's a duck. A squirrel.
Great.
Oh god, I'm so bad at this.
All right. So we got, this is the water line here. Boop, boop, boop.
It's
Oh.
my soul.
It's the water. All right. I can't. I don't know what you can see, so I'm just gonna kind of draw here. This
I
is
see a line.
all right, and then
Yeah.
we got a boat here. It's
Okay.
got its little rampy do going like this.
Yay, Rampy Doo!
Does
I got
that
it.
work?
You get the basics. I'll do detail work.
There's a podium here. There's a guy. There's a guy like preaching Medulla here. Okay.
Mhm.
There was a line of people here.
In
That
the water?
no, this is water. Hang on.
Oh,
I'm
George
working
is
on it.
George
Yeah.
is messing me up here.
What?
Hold on.
What? I'm putting waves in the water.
Okay.
That's water.
Okay.
Beautiful work.
Do
This
you know
is
if you're gonna cast this or not?
so difficult. This is so difficult. Hold on. Thin. That's too thin. Regular. Okay. So this is this first circle I drew here. This is a line of people handing out food.
Okay.
This. Yeah, it's a really bad.
wow.
This.
God.
Hold on. This is a crowd of people.
Never mind. That's way bigger of a crowd than what I thought it was.
Hang on, and then this is a line of guards.
Ooh. Laura's social anxiety gets the better of him.
This is where the guards went in the middle, and hold on, I can do this. I can do this if I can find it. Where's my thing? There's my thing. And select and you, and that's that. I can't even hold on.
That's a lot of people.
And that's the scale of Eldor's to the crowd.
Oh, you did say there were like 200 some, right?
Yeah.
There's a lot of people there.
Ooh. Yeah,
Just
never mind.
Fireball and get it over.
So yeah, so my
Never
thinking
mind.
just process would be 30 people would start running in the opposite direction and start hitting and trampling people, and then other people would assume that they were being attacked by a line of guards
Yeah.
and would start to.
My plan, if whoever's playing with my thing can stop,
That would be
was to like get up here at the front, but not in the crowd, and cast it towards like the back of the group. I don't know how to do the arrow thing.
Right.
Mm.
I will say pretty much no matter what you do in guard, this would have that same effect.
Yeah, that I'm not gonna bother. Forget it. I didn't realize it was that big of a crowd. Instead, what do I want to do? What do I want to do? So, who is doing this aid handout?
They appear to be men in kind of quasi military outfits, sort of like the guards of Amon, but more ragtag.
Okay. Are they the ones that are being protested, or are they with the protest?
They are with the protesters. They're helping out, hand out food, and the guards are the other guards that aren't handling whoever this speaker was are now approaching them and getting ready to arrest them. It looks like as the vegetables begin to rain.
Is there any way that I can run up and like on the stage and just like yell "stop," like try to get their attention?
Well, at this point, so they're with the amount of time that's taken to discuss this, just for the sake of things, they've already made it about halfway through the crowd and are probably around no longer on freehand around here-ish through the crowd as people are shoving and pushing. This is the last. Can I do blank before the next step is going to happen?
Let me ask you a quick question.
Mhm.
Are there cannons on the ship?
This is going to be the last. Can I? Just to clarify.
Okay, I'm sorry.
No. You're fine. No. I just want to clarify. Like, keep it moving forward. So this is all happening very quickly. Is this your final answer?
Yes.
Okay. Yes, there does appear to be cannons on the ship.
Okay, I want to use my thaumaturgy. I think I can do this. I want to make it sound like the cannons
You want to make it sound like the cannons what?
are firing.
Okay.
Because I want the crowd to disperse.
Right. I thought thaumaturgy was just your voice.
It can make noises.
You can have it do a variety. It's very much like prestidigitation in a sense. So you can have it make your voice boom.
Your voice booms up to 3 times as loud. You cause flames to flicker, harmless tremors, instantaneous sound that originates from a point of your choice within range, such as a rumble of thunder, the cry of a raven, or ominous whispers.
Oh, I didn't know.
Unlock doors or windows, appearance of your eyes.
Or ominous
all right.
whispers. That might be more.
I don't think they'll hear it over the roar of the people.
Yeah.
So what you're gonna go with,
Sorry.
Eldoris?
I'm questioning doing anything now. No, yeah, forget it. I'm gonna let Elena do her thing.
Okay,
All right.
I was gonna run up to guards and like try and get the people around their attention and just make them stop. I don't know if I'm gonna help.
All right. So
That feels so much.
you rush into some of the guards. Which guards are you going toward? The ones
I'm-
that are arresting the dockers, the person that was speaking.
Yeah, because this is the most like. Are the dockers refusing? Are they getting fruit thrown at them? Like
No one's throwing fruit at the
Okay.
dock people, but they're being arrested right now.
okay, then I'm gonna throw it at I'm gonna try and stop and get the attention of people.
All right, make a survival check to try to get there. And Eldoris, are you sure you don't want to do the cannon thing? I don't want to make you try to
Yeah, because
like.
I don't want people to trample each other either.
Okay.
I kind of feel like no matter what I do, it's not going to go the way I want it to, so I'm not going to do it.
Elena, make a survival check to try to make your way through the crowd.
26.
26. All right. So pretty easily you begin to kind of shove your way through the crowd, shouting after the guards, "Hey, get off him," or whatever you want to.
No, I'm not trying to get off of him. I'm trying to get the people around, like that are throwing the fruit and stuff at the guards to stop. Like.
All right. So you make your way over in that direction. You get closer to the guards, kind of trying to stop some of the people from throwing at him. It looks like some of the people are listening to you. They kind of stop. They're shouting. The murmurs kind of died down for a second. As the guards the main guard that was being a dick to Xavier, "Everyone out of the way!" The crowd he pulls out a sword and the crowd kind of backs away from him. There's a moment of tense silence.
I yell everyone to go home, and that if we act like animals, we will be treated like animals. Just go home.
Make a persuasion check.
Ugh. $17.
There is a shout from the crowd.
Oh no.
No! And someone charges forward toward one of the guards. The guard kicks him back. All the guards extend their pikes down. The crowd begins to get angry and more fruit begins to fly. And there's one sound that rings out above everything else. Like a cannon going off.
Oh no.
like the sound. I can't talk right now. Like
sound?
like the sound of a crack of thunder.
Oh boy!
Like the sound of a crack of thunder, though no lightning flash fills the sky. The person who had been atop the crates protesting staggers.
Oh no. Was it a gunshot?
The guards around stand away from him as he holds his hand over his chest, pulling back, revealing a trickle of red,
Shit.
and collapses to the ground. The crowd around, suddenly fervorous, charges inward. Elena, you are knocked. Well, actually, make a strength check.
Mm. That's an 11.
You are knocked practically to the ground, and you take 14 points of bludgeoning damage as the crowd around slams into you, trampling over you to get to the guards. You hear slashing and clashing of metal and people screaming, and the guards begin to retreat down the main alleyway as the people push them back off the docks. Eldores, you are still over toward the dock in the shadows. I would like you to make a perception check, Eldores.
Oh boy.
They just made him a freaking martyr, guys.
Perception 19.
Okay, as all this went down, and you were trying to decide what to do, you approached the crowd, deciding on what best way to distract the people around. You heard the echo, even as the thought went through your mind to set the cannons off. And for even a brief moment, you wondered if you had accidentally made your thaumaturgy happen and not intended it. But the sound had come not from the ship behind you, but from the rooftop of the alley you had come down. And glancing up, you see a figure in dark with a long, black cylindrical rifle. And as the crowd rushes in, you watch as this figure with a long, flowing cape in solid black against the night sky stands, turns, and leaps across from building to building off into the distance.
Go after him.
I am not leaving you here.
Go without him.
I make a mental note. Can I tell about how tall?
With the quick glance you got, upwards of higher than 5 feet.
Okay, fair enough.
Between 5 and 6.
Yeah, I'm getting trampled.
I'm going to use thaumaturgy to boom my voice, and I'm going to say, "It wasn't the guards. It was a shooter on the roof." And then I'm going to run to try and find Elena and get her off.
Okay, make a persuasion check.
Oh, I should be good at this. Yeah.
Be so charming right now. Be so charming.
Keyword should.
16 plus 5 is
21.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So a large number of what? A shooter on the roof, and they kind of look off in the direction.
He's running.
And you one of them must have been a guard on the roof, and runs over to the building, begins climbing the roof. Some of the people begin running in that direction, but Elena has been uncovered in the scramble.
All right, I'm gonna run over to her and try and get her up.
Well, I mean, I'm like on a scale of like 1 to 91, I'm a 42. So
that's
like,
fine,
chill,
but you're still
like,
prone on the ground and you were just trampled. So I'm going to throw my hand down at your face. I'm going to reach my hand out and I'm going to grab your arm and.
Yeah. All right.
And at this moment, as the crowd pushes the guards out of the port and the others run off after the shooter, you all are alone in the port. Just you, Elena, and the dead body slowly pooling blood into the stonework.
How long has it been since he was shot?
Moments.
Moments.
Is he still awake? Can we rush over to him?
Yeah, is there anything we can do to revive him? Can we try and stop him from dying?
You can certainly try.
Okay, I'm
I
going
cast
to.
Cure Wounds.
I was gonna say,
Okay, you do whatever. I don't care.
I've got what is the one that I have? Spare the Dying.
Oh yeah, do that. Do that.
I'll do that. Spare the Dying.
Okay.
Then I can Cure Wounds him.
Are you approaching the body?
Oh yeah.
You run up and you approach him. He's a middle-aged man, probably in his late 50s, balding on the top. Looks like he may have been a merchant of some kind, and he's laying there, eyes just fixated on the sky in a cold, no reaction as you approach. He is already dead.
So Spare the Dying won't work.
I mean, I can tell that it's going to be futile. Is it that kind of situation?
As you take a look, the shot was perfect, directly in the heart, and it looks to you as though he died very quickly and bled out very fast. An expert shot, one could say.
That worries me.
I reach down and I close his eyes.
His eyes close.
Elena, this is bad news.
Yeah. Especially because most shooters, Whitestone. Oh my gosh.
That does raise an interesting point, Cal. How widely used are firearms nowadays?
Not very widely.
Okay.
And Oliver is known as a shooter, correct?
Correct.
As a gunslinger.
Correct.
Fudge. They tried.
I'm
One of
getting
Drass's men who tried.
I'm getting big Game of Thrones vibes from this scene.
Cal, that Game of Thrones game's been affecting you.
I haven't played that since September.
What?
It's only October.
No, it keeps getting canceled every week.
Oh, that's sad.
Wah, wah. Well, we can't stay here. Let's meet up with the rest.
Yeah. Need to get a hold of my brother somehow and see if he's even in Amon.
All right. So you make your way out of the city, back through the streets, and as you leave the city, you hear the unmistakable sounds of glass crashing, people shouting, running through the streets. As you exit the city behind you, you begin to see on the horizon, as you begin to near Greyskull Keep, a red glow appearing from the city. And that's where I'd like to end tonight's session, a little bit early.
That's fine.
Mostly because I hadn't planned past that.
Okay, that's chill. That's understandable. I'm just very stressed out now, Cal.
You went to go see it. This is on you.
No, I would have been stressed out.
I kind of
no
feel like this would have
what.
happened anyways.
Well, but you wouldn't know.
Yeah. To be fair, what I was fully anticipating you just going to Greyskull Keep, and I would have just described the red glow over the city, and then you would have found out there had been a riot in the morning.
I thought there was a shooter.
Spoilers.
Yep.
Big spoilers.
All I
Who
was
wants to
trying
start a revolution?
All right. Well,
All I was
it
trying
already
to
looks
do
like
was
it's
stop.
started.
Well,
Civil War, guys.
Who wants to help a revolution?
well, thank you.
Well,
for
anyway,
joining us.
thank you for joining us.
Yeah. Thanks. Yeah.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.